It's Tuesday and it's time for Falcon Focus. Welcome to this week's edition of Falcon Focus. We're back outdoors, a nice windy October morning for Falcon Focus. My name is Matt Mendel. It is episode number 4 here in our third season. In segment number 2, we turn our attention to women's tennis. They have a big matchup this week, which could determine the regular season championship against Edgewood. We'll talk with their number 1 doubles team of Ricky Budowitz and Ashley Samuda. But first, we talk men's golf and being joined by senior Jordan Carlton as the men's golf team prepares for the NAC championships. The first couple of rounds taking place this weekend on Sunday and Monday from Kohler, Wisconsin. But with the unique format is what it is for men's golf, they will play the final rounds come April 24th and 25th from Aurora, Illinois. And Jordan, I want to start there, and I think it is unique because, again, you get a couple of rounds in here in the fall, a couple of rounds in during the spring. How do you approach the NAC championships knowing that essentially you're laying down the foundation now? A lot could happen between now and April, but then you're back out there trying to pick up where you left off in October.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to approach just because it's so spread apart. In the fall, at least it's very important. You have to remember it's a 72-hole tournament. It's not just our typical 2-day, 18 holes a day. It's actually a 4-day tournament, 18 holes. So you basically have to take it one hole at a time, one swing at a time. You can't get too far ahead of yourself and too far behind yourself because, just like golf is, you're going to make a mistake. It's going to happen. You're going to make multiple mistakes, but you have to just remember that to stay posed and keep your composure the entire time. So because it is such a long tournament, you got to make sure that your head is completely there on every single swing, every single shot.
Obviously, based on your opinion, it's not going to change the format, but do you like the format?
I do. Last year it was kind of cool how, unfortunately, in the fall we couldn't play it, but it was kind of cool in the spring where we were able to play it 2 days in the spring and then another 2 days the following weekend, and we were able to play it right away. But it definitely has its advantages and disadvantages where sometimes you're playing well, and so if you play it like we did last year in the spring and you're playing pretty well, it's going to turn out good for you because you're playing in your hot streak for 2 consecutive weekends where when you play over the fall and the spring, I think it truly tests who the better players are overall because you're playing 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring, so it shows who's playing better throughout the entire season, not just 2 weekends. So I think it has its advantages and disadvantages, but overall I like it.
Weather-wise, that could be a story. I mean, you could get a day like today where it looks like it wants to rain. It could rain. The wind picks up. Springtime, certainly the same boat. Do you prefer one time versus the other, fall, spring?
It's hard to say. I mean, when we play at Black Wolf, we know what we're going to get out there. It's always windy out there. It's pretty open. You're near the lake. It's usually blowing pretty good out there. But as a preference, I don't know. It's typically the weather is pretty similar when it comes to late fall, spring, but it all depends on the day you get. You never know with Wisconsin.
I just think that the thing that's odd for me, or would be odd for me as a golfer, is the fact that you play those first couple of rounds at one course. Then all of a sudden you have all these winter months. And those 2 rounds are just sitting there, and then you have another course, and you got to pick up where you left off. Do you do anything in the winter months that maybe prepares you for, obviously, a few other matchups in the springtime before you get back to the championships? But what do you do to maybe stay in the golf mindset in the winter months?
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, it's just practicing as much as I can, not going overboard in the winter because obviously now and in the spring are the heaviest parts of the year when it comes to golf. But in the winter, just making sure everything's all right, keeping a solid swing, at least keeping a feel for it where once it comes springtime, you're back and ready to go again.
When you look at the NAC championships, Aurora has been the team to beat. They've won the last 4 consecutive team championships. In your opinion, are they the team to beat again, or who do you see as maybe being some of the dark horses that could factor into the championship race?
I think Aurora definitely is up near the top. Every year they keep a good team and bring in more good players. That's just how it's been for them. But Edgewood's also a fairly solid squad. I know they're a little low on numbers this year, but they have a couple of great players themselves. And another school like WLC has made a great run this year. They've made some good showings at some of these fall tournaments, and I'm excited to see what some of these teams can do, and including us. We're very young, and I'm hoping that we can step up a little bit and rise to the occasion.
As mentioned, Sunday and Monday, you guys will be in Kohler, and then the championships wrap up in Aurora in April. Are you familiar with those courses? How do they play?
Yeah, I've played Black Wolf a lot throughout my life. I played it in high school a bunch, and then here in college we've played it plenty. Like I said earlier, Black Wolf, we know what we're gonna get. We're gonna get a lot of wind. So a lot of these guys are gonna have to make adjustments, and honestly, on those courses, it all depends on what the wind's doing. If it's blowing like today, it's gonna play pretty challenging. It's hard enough as it is, but when you add wind to it, it's difficult. And then Stonebridge it's a different golf course. It's in the middle of like a city, so it's a lot tighter, a lot more out of bounds. So that's more of a placement course. You got to be good off the tee and hit your shots where you need to hit them and take advantage when you can. But you got to be patient at both of them. You know that there's going to be some holes you can get after, and then there's some holes if you can make par and get out of there, you're going to be happy with it.
Overall, do you have a favorite course that you tend to frequent, or you get the opportunity to play annually, at least within season?
I would say, at least for me, Washington County and Hartford, it's definitely I've played that course, I don't know, probably 100 times. I grew up about 20 minutes from it, so I've played there quite a bit. But I would say, like, favorite course that I really haven't played much, I mean, Black Wolf's always nice to play. Stonebridge is awesome. It's a beautiful golf course. But besides those two, I don't know. We play a lot of good golf courses. We played at Grand Geneva this weekend, which is a great setup. But we usually get a couple good ones in there. But I would say overall, probably Black Wolf. It's just a beautiful venue.
I do want to pick on a course or two. Do you have a least favorite that may be the most frustrating for you as a golfer?
I don't know at all. It's hard to say because you end up not liking courses because you don't play well. So there's a few you run into where it's like, man, I really don't want to go back there. But I don't know. We played one a couple weeks ago down in Galena. It's a cool golf course, but it can humble you pretty quickly if you hit a few bad shots. You realize that maybe this one isn't for me. So
you came to Concordia from Kewaskum High School, basketball, golf athlete. How did golf become your number one sport, if you will?
I think, honestly, golf became my number one sport because of my friends around me. I was really good friends with Sam Slosher and Andrew Otto in high school. They came here. They were a big convincer on me to play on the golf team here, and I couldn't be happier than I did it. And, I mean, still those guys, we stay in touch. We're playing a bunch of golf together. So I would say basically because my closest friends are all avid golfers, and that's just kind of what we do as a group. I think that's definitely what persuaded me one way or another.
What is your earliest recollection of playing golf? How did you start playing the sport?
I would just say when I was younger, I played it with my dad quite a bit. He was never like a crazy golfer. He wasn't an avid one, but he played a decent amount, and I started playing with him a little bit. I definitely liked it, and in high school I decided why not? I might as well try it, see what happens, and then I became close with some of those guys, and I'm like, you know what? This is something I definitely could take up.
You hear some say that golf is a nice stress reliever. Others say it adds more stress. It can be very frustrating. So what aspects of golf, what's your favorite part of the sport? Maybe what's the most frustrating aspect of golf?
I would say with golf, when you actually like envision a shot in your mind, hit it exactly how you want to, it's just so satisfying to know that you can do that. But then at the same time, when you're getting up there and you're missing a short putt or just hitting a shot that you never thought you could hit, it's so frustrating. It's such a mental game, but it really brings out the best in a lot of people, in my opinion. But yeah, I would say just when you can consistently hit a shot that you want to hit, it's very satisfying.
At Kewaskum High School, you qualified for state a couple of different times. What are your memories of those experiences?
Memories I won't forget. Playing with those guys in high school, we had a bond that not many people had. But being able to go play at University Ridge for a state championship in high school was something. When you play a sport in high school, that's what you dream of, making it to state and putting your best out there and being able to showcase our school, get our school on the map a little bit, and play with those guys out there. It's stuff you can't take back.
I saw your brother Andrew's on the team, a sophomore. Is it fun having your brother on the same team?
It's awesome. I really can't put words to it. It's, again, something you always dream of, being able to play alongside him, growing up with him, and now watching him play at a higher level and play pretty well, which is cool to see.
Did you get the opportunity to play with him at all in high school?
Yeah, he was 2 years below me. So my junior year, he was a freshman. We were never actually on the same team when I was on varsity. He was
Okay.
on JV, but able to watch him play, and now being able to actually play on the same team here at a Division III level, it's pretty special. I know mom and dad are proud.
Did you have any impact or any influence on him coming to Concordia, or was that kind of always kind of in the deck of cards?
I think I definitely had an impact to it. Even though he might not admit it, I think it definitely was definitely a positive impact to it, and I think he doesn't regret it. So that's cool.
Who's got the better golf game?
Depends on the day.
That's a very good answer. I was going to say, I expected you to say me, and then he'd probably say him. But anyways, 2 years before your brother stepped on campus, you were competing in your freshman year with the Falcons, and you go back. What do you recall about that first year, your play, how the team fared? What do you remember about that freshman year?
It was a new experience. I mean, playing with guys that are truly better than me, it definitely made me a better golfer today. I think that's so important as a freshman when you come in. It's very important when you're playing not as the top dog behind some guys and learning from them, and learning from guys like Sam and Andrew and a couple of our guys higher up. It would help me take away a lot, whether I truly realized it or not. I was able to learn so much from them. And my freshman year, I couldn't have wrote it any better. I mean, there were a couple tournaments I played great and a couple I didn't, and you need that. You need to be able to learn from your mistakes, especially young on, and I think it's helped me improve a lot to this day.
When you look at the transition, and I know every sport is different. Some sports they'll you make that transition from high school to college. The talk is, oh, it's the speed of the game. It's the the strength of the athletes. What about golf? What was the biggest adjustment for you going from high school to college? Maybe the competition, maybe the courses. What, in your opinion, was the biggest adjustment you had to make?
I would say overall in college the courses are a little longer. They're definitely longer than they were in high school, but at the same time, you just need to learn to understand that where in high school you're going to play with kids who are playing golf for fun. I mean, they're playing to have a good time, be out there with their friends, where when you come to the college level and start playing with these top teams, these guys are out here to play for the national championship. They're out here to make a move, to make it big time, and so it's definitely adjustment, but learning how to play with guys who are just as competitive as you, it definitely brings out the best in some people, which is very cool.
How unique was your sophomore year? You started it, but never finished.
Yeah, unfortunately we couldn't get it done, and we definitely had a good squad that year, but we can only control what we can control. So
Then you got the opportunity to come back last school year, competed in 11 events, 19 rounds. Were you pleased with how your season played out?
I was. It was definitely my best season last year. I had a couple good rounds, and unfortunately I didn't play as well as I wanted to when it came to conference, but there's always this year is what I'm looking at.
You did shoot around a 67, I read, which is a program record. What happened? Where did that occur? What was clicking that day?
So we played at Washington County, which I am very familiar. I've played that course a lot. But I know that golf course like the back of my hand. I mean, I know where I can hit it, where I can't hit it, and fortunately I put myself in a lot of good positions and just made a lot of putts. So it was one of those days that you feel like you're on top of the world, so it was pretty cool.
So now going into this season and now into the NAC Championship this upcoming weekend, how has this season played out for you and for the team?
I think for the team, this year we are very young. We have a lot of guys with not a lot of experience. I'm definitely the most experienced player on the team. But like my brother, he's a sophomore, and he's probably the guy with the second most experience when it comes to competitive rounds. So for a lot of these guys, they're in a completely new state. This is brand new to them. So the message to them all year has just been take away something from every round that you can learn from, and don't put tremendous amounts of pressure on yourself. We're, as a team, as my coach, as a captain, we're not expecting the highest of the highs out of these guys. All we've been asking for is take something away and hopefully improve every single time you step out there.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the youth on this team, because I was going to ask you, you're the lone senior on the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, is that pretty unique for you? Is that kind of odd to feel like, you're the elder of this team?
Definitely. It's a new experience. I mean, when I was a senior in high school, I was the only senior on that team as well. But at that time, all of the juniors had played for multiple years. They've been playing since they were freshmen. For these guys, a lot of them just got called up to the plate this year, where it's definitely, I remember the experience coming in as a freshman, coming in as a sophomore. When you get put out there, you're nervous, and there's nothing you can take away from that. But I've told all of them, when you're nervous, that's good. It means you care. So, and that's all I can ask for.
Who are some of the other golfers or teammates that have stood out or have been playing pretty well throughout this fall?
Well, obviously my brother, he's been stepping up when it matters a little bit. Trent Sherman's been stepping up lately. He obviously a hockey player as well, but when we can get him for golf, lately he's been playing very, very well. And then we're hoping for a little bit of stepping up out of Karsten Zange. He's been hanging around. When he plays well, he can fit in right as our 3 guy. And then we got a couple guys who just joined that we're just hoping to see what they can do.
Finally, what goals do you have for yourself? You know, we talked about your approach, but what goals do you have for yourself going into this weekend that hopefully then will carry over into the springtime?
I'm just hoping to play my game, not get flustered. Hopefully, overall goal for conference would be all conference and hopefully up near the top. But you got to take it one step at a time, one swing at a time.
Well, Jordan, appreciate your time. All the best this weekend, and then the final rounds come April. Men's golf, again, NAC Championships coming up from Kohler on Sunday and Monday, and then culminates in Aurora April 24th and 25th. When we come back, we switch our attention to women's tennis. Big one coming up on Friday against Edgewood. We'll talk about that and more as we continue after this here on Falcon Focus.
Since 1978, Lutheran Church Extension Fund has had the humble privilege of supporting the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod in fulfilling its mission of sharing the gospel.
Thanks to our faithful investors, we provided thousands of church workers, congregations, schools, and organizations with the resources they need to reach more people with the saving name of Christ. It's what we do.
Because our greatest joy comes from seeing LCMS Ministries and her workers thrive, we will continue to make precious resources available, both today and far into the future. It's our promise to you.
We are Lutheran Church Extension Fund.
We are Lutheran Church Extension Fund.
We are Lutheran Church Extension Fund. We want to be part of your great and exciting work.
Welcome back to this very windy edition of Falcon Focus. We turn our attention now to women's tennis. They have a big matchup coming up on Friday against Edgewood before wrapping up the fall portion of their schedule on Saturday at Concordia, Chicago. And again, for what it's worth, Friday essentially for the regular season championship seeding going into the NAC tournament coming up in the springtime, and being joined by the #1 doubles team for the Falcons, that being senior Ricky Budowitz along with sophomore Ashley Samuda. And Ricky, you know, when we had you on here back in February, the tennis team was about to resume play after about a year and a half time off thanks to COVID. What do you recall when you think back to that first matchup, you know, coming back after a year and a half off? What was the emotion? What was the mood getting the opportunity to finally compete again?
Well, we were definitely very excited just to be back on the court, being able to play together, and just like being able to compete again. Yeah, we were just really excited to get back to it.
For you, Ashley, your first collegiate season, how do you feel that first season personally went for you? Was it challenging all of a sudden? You just pick things up and away you go in February.
Oh, it was definitely awesome. I mean, I honestly didn't really know what to expect coming in. First collegiate season and all that, but it was super fun. The team was super great, and yeah, it was an awesome season overall for both individually and as a team. Yeah,
both of you were named to the All-NAC singles team. As teammates, you guys were part of the All-NAC doubles team. How about for you, Ricky? Were you pleased with how your junior season turned out?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, not being able to finish the sophomore season was definitely hard, but just, I mean, being able to compete was great in itself, but just how we finished too was definitely where we wanted to.
Well, I know for you, you find other ways to stay competitive, maybe not here at Concordia during the pandemic, but did it take some getting used to? Did it take some knocking some rust off once, last season started, or was it like riding a bike and you just picked up where you left off?
A little bit of both. I mean, we try to stay in shape like off the court so that when we're not able to play, it's a little bit easier coming back. But it's a little different actually being in the season and being pushed like not only by yourself but by your teammates too, so it's a little bit harder.
Ashley, you look at the way the season ended up panning out for the entire team, and the team ended up winning the NAC tournament, got back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2018. How intense, look at that NAC tournament. How intense were those matchups? That semifinal one against Illinois Tech, that championship matchup against Edgewood. Just how intense were those matchups to be a part of?
Oh, I mean, they were for sure really intense, but I had full confidence in my team that we could definitely do it and win conference, but it was super awesome. Emotions were really high when we first won that match. I just remember everyone stormed the court. It was so awesome, but it was really fun.
How much fun was that to be a part of? I know with your history now being your fourth year of the program, that rivalry between the Falcons and Edgewood, and now with Illinois Tech being added to the conference a few years ago, how intense that's been.
Oh, very. I mean, first of all, I didn't really know what to expect coming in, so I've gotten a little bit more used to it, but it's kind of nice, having some competitiveness and having something to look forward, because we look forward to the matches. But yeah, it's very intense with how competitive it is.
Well, for both of you, how valuable was that experience? You got to the NCAA tournament. You faced a very good Whitewater program. How valuable was that experience? And I know every team will say we're hungry to get back there, but now you guys have gotten a taste of the NCAA tournament. How much hungry are you now to get back to the NCAA tournament?
I mean, I can probably speak for both of us that we're super hungry for more. Our goal for this season is to win first round in the NACC tournament if we can do that, and I think we can definitely do that. We have the confidence, and we're super hungry for that.
Take us through this fall, and we mentioned the big matchup coming up Friday against Edgewood at 3 o'clock here in Mequon. Before we get to the matchup itself, how has the season been going for you?
For me, it's been going very well. Just we've been focusing more individually at practices, so working on what we need to. So it's been kind of nice to work on what I need to or what we need to as a doubles team. But yeah, I think that we've just started every match just being very focused and getting it done when we need to. But yeah, just staying very intense during the matches. But yeah, it's been going well.
So with that being said, how about for you, what's been maybe the biggest difference from your first year now to your second year? What have you been focusing on this second year?
Well, little details. I've been focusing on being more consistent and all that, and really focusing on my strategies and how I play, and for singles too, but also for doubles as well. We've just been focusing more on what we need to do to beat certain teams and how we need to play differently. But yeah, we've been working really hard this season.
Ricky, we talk about, it seems like every year, or at least the last couple of years, it's been the Edgewood and Illinois Tech matchups that ultimately determine who brings home that regular season championship, who brings home that conference tournament championship. You guys took it to Illinois Tech this year. What do you remember about that day? What was, I guess, the key to that 8-1 victory?
Well, I definitely think that we came out hot, and especially in doubles, we took the lead, I think it was 3-0 right away, which definitely makes a difference because we come out on top in singles too, which definitely gives us the motivation and the momentum to be able to do that. So I think just the way we started in that match really helped us.
When you look at this team, a lot of experience back, a lot of familiar names from that of last year's NCAA tournament run. So I guess I'll ask both of you just to give some more love out to some of your teammates. Who are some of the other tennis athletes that have stepped up here in the fall?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most of our team has stepped up, but yeah, I don't know. Mallory is a great teammate, Cheyenne, but really everyone is a great teammate, so not one person specifically, really.
How excited are you two for Friday? I mean, obviously, the job's not done after Friday. You have another matchup on Saturday, but again, you guys both know. You circle that Edgewood matchup every year the calendar comes out. How excited are you for what could be on Friday?
Well, I'm super pumped. Yeah. Really excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. We're definitely confident in what we can do, so just looking forward to that.
And again, that's Friday here, 3 o'clock, and then Concordia, Chicago, Saturday, and then that wraps up fall and then on to the springtime. But looking ahead, and we talked about this with men's golf too, just on our first segment, it's unique because you guys have two different seasons. So what happens now, okay? It's a normal season in the sense that you play here in the fall, then you have those winter months. What takes place during those months? Do you guys continue to practice? Do you compete? Do you take some time off before you get back into the spring season? How does that work out?
Well, usually we take a little bit of time off in like the few weeks after. We have the opportunity to hit indoors a little bit. And then basically over the winter break, it's kind of just whatever you need to work on. But then once we come back in February, we get back at it again and are ready for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
How excited are you two for, we talk about excitement a lot. There's a lot of excitement around this program, rightfully so. But you look, okay, you come back in the springtime, fingers crossed. Your trip got canceled a couple years ago, but you get the opportunity to go to Hilton Head, South Carolina for a number of non-conference matchups. How exciting, if that trip does in fact happen to you guys, for what could be down there?
Oh, I mean, really excited. I didn't honestly know we were going to do that, but excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. It was really fun my freshman year when we were able to go. So just like the different competition that we're able to see there, but then just like the week that we're able to spend like as a team on vacation, kind of.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then eventually the conference tournament will take place. That will take place May 2nd. Not for the Falcons, who will most likely be a top 2 seed. Their run will begin in the semis on May 5th, and then May 8th will be the finals this year in Madison. All right, and I know I've asked this, I think, to you before, Ricky, when you were on our show back in February, but the doubles team, how that comes about. You've had about 3 different partners in your time with the Falcons. Do you guys have a say in who you get to partner with? How do the pairings come out? How does that work?
I mean, I don't know. At practice, we kind of try to figure out like who we're most, or like we bond with better, and who we play with better. Strategies, working out that. I mean, we do have a little bit of say. It's just kind of who we play better with. I don't know. Yeah.
So how did it work out that you two became doubles partners last year? You as a freshman, you as a junior.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of we played with everyone on the team during practice and just kind of went through that. But in the fall season when you weren't here, we did a lot of switching around. And then I think the 2 and 3 doubles were kind of set, or they had a better idea of who they wanted. So then it just kind of happened that way.
In baseball, pitchers and catchers, they get to know each other pretty well. They have to be on the same page. They know all kinds of things about one another. It's so important. How about from a doubles partner standpoint? How important is this relationship both on and off the court, just, to coexist?
Yeah, I mean, really important. I think we have fun both on and off the court, which is really great. We have a good relationship going on, so, yeah.
How well do you know each other?
Definitely getting closer.
Because we want to put that to the test, and we got the whiteboards here.
Oh, boy.
We got a whiteboard here. We're going to test your knowledge of how well do you know your doubles partner.
Oh, good.
So this could either go one or two ways. We have a series of 10 questions, nothing way out of left field, but we'll see how well this goes. How well do you know your doubles partner? This is big. I mean, this is conference championship worthy right here. I mean, that's got to get mentally into this. So the first question I have for you two. So Ashley, what is Ricky's hometown? Ricky, what is Ashley's hometown?
I don't know if I know how to spell it.
I know how to spell it.
If you get close, that counts. All right. Start with you.
Watertown.
Bingo.
Let's go.
All right, so you got one.
Glen Allen.
It's Ellen.
Okay.
I mean, you spelled it wrong, but we'll give you a point for
You
being
got it, though.
correct. So so a point so far. So 1 for 1. Next, maybe I should give you the. I don't know why I'm just crumpling it up here. Maybe I should just give you the paper towel. There you go. Here we go. That way you don't have to use your fingers. There you go.
Here.
I'll use a little
I don't
one.
know. How about major? So what is each of your majors
Come on,
here at
Ashley.
Concordia?
Wait, no, I know.
So far 1 for 1 out of a series of 10 questions.
Well,
Okay, I think.
okay.
All right.
Go. Human relations.
Is that correct?
Human resources. I switched it.
Oh,
It's different than
shoot.
what's online, but
Did it say human relations online?
resources.
It says resources online?
I think so.
I was close.
Something. Yeah.
Do we know? Can we get confirmation? Has it been updated? We don't.
I
We
know
have no
it's
clue.
HR.
It's HR. That counts. We'll give it
Yeah.
to you.
All right,
it's,
let's
it's,
go.
It's HR. Maybe you just okay.
Elementary education.
Is that correct?
You got it.
Okay, so we're 2 for 2. This is good so far. They know each other so far in number 1 doubles. Now, do you know each other's birthdays? I'll give you within like a week span. So if you're at least in the ballpark.
Oh, gosh.
You can never celebrate too early, and you can always have a belated birthday, but we'll give you about a 7-day span.
For a wild guess.
I don't. Hold on.
A lot of thinking going on.
Oh, man, I don't know. January 5th?
Is she close?
Kind of December 17th. Shoot.
That doesn't count. It's a different month.
October 28th.
Oh, boy, no.
What is it?
August 1st.
Whoa, not even close. All right, that's an X.
closer.
Ooh.
I thought
All right,
it
we're
was a
2 for
fall
3.
month. Okay.
Next, favorite food. You guys not share meals together? Oh, this is. I have a bad feeling about this one.
Okay.
Mac and cheese?
I did eat mac and cheese this morning, but
What?
You ate it this morning already?
I did.
Breakfast of champions right
so
there.
I will count that. I said ice cream.
Nope, it's sushi.
Whoa, ice cream.
Well, she had that last night.
I
so.
mean, I did.
2 for 4. That's not good. You have a favorite candy?
Oh my god.
I mean, it's Halloween. Like, if you're going trick or treating, is there one candy you're just hoping? Either Ricky, you knew this, or you're just guessing.
Yeah, how'd you write this one?
That was
I
quick.
said Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I knew that. I knew that.
Whoa. How did you know that?
I did. I just guessed.
Oh, that's a good guess.
I said Reese's.
Nope. Sour Patch Kids.
Whew.
I'm doing better.
2 for
Ricky.
5. That's not going to get you in the baseball lineup either. It's hitting 200. Favorite TV show or type of TV show? Like if you two got rained out in tennis and you had to go binge watch a show, what are you guys watching? Got to bounce back at some point. 2 for 5 right now. We're on a 3-question losing streak.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. I put The Office.
I'll count that because I
Let's
do
go.
like that. I said Bachelor in Paradise.
Yes,
Bachelor.
it actually is.
Okay.
So there we go. We got one. Back on track. Back on track.
Good.
Favorite type of music or artist? So it could be either or. So you two are trying to get pumped up for the upcoming matchup against Edgewood. What are you guys listening to?
I don't know if this will bump you up.
I don't know if this one. Alright, it's Christian music.
Sure. I said country.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at you two. Back on track.
We're doing great.
Absolutely. That's 4 right out of 7. That's good.
There you go.
Favorite holiday? Now I realize too, some of these questions I don't know why you would have discussed at some point, but maybe I guess I'm hoping. Obviously, does not affect the way you guys go out there and play tennis, but you know it's all
Okay,
being in sync.
Christmas.
I put Christmas.
Yeah,
too.
mine.
Whoa, look at you two.
Yes.
All right, we have 2 more. You guys have a lucky number. And I'll give you within like 3 or 4. Give or take. I mean, if it's like 25 or in the 20s, that counts.
17.
Because yeah, that's my birthday. So
What?
I said 12.
It's 5. I don't know
5.
why.
Wrap it up with, do you guys have a favorite color?
Oh yes.
You said that like that's been discussed before. Somehow you would know.
I hope this is
I put
blue.
I mean, yes.
Yeah,
There
blue's a
you
good
go.
color.
So, quick math: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 10. That's passing.
Yeah, good job.
Way to go. They couple of years not even fully as number one doubles partners and passing the test. If we do this again next year, I bet you guys are 100%.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up. Your goals heading into this weekend, but then also going into the spring season, what do you hope to accomplish both individually and as a team?
Well, as doubles, I think we want to go undefeated.
Yeah.
I think we're undefeated in conference so
Mhm.
far.
Yep.
So hopefully continuing that into the weekend. I guess, well, for singles, for the rest of the season, for me, hopefully also going undefeated this weekend, and then also in the spring, just working on playing those tough matches against like the really talented teams to prepare us for the conference tournament.
Yeah, I mean, for singles, I would say just find my strategy, be really consistent, hopefully be undefeated too. As a team, just do really well, win conference, pump each other up, and have a really fun season.
Well, Ricky, Ashley, thanks a lot for your time. Best of luck this weekend. Thanks for having some fun with us and joining us here this morning. But Edge with the big matchup coming up Friday at 3, and then Concordia, Chicago Saturday before some time off, and then the focus go to the spring season. Again, the Falcons sit right now 8-0, 7-0 in conference play. That'll do it for this week's edition of Falcon Focus. Thanks for joining us. We'll do it again next week here on CUWFalcons.com.